found some rich fat here, and again a pedestal, friends. Look how cool it looks. But what's most interesting about using it, placing a glass of whiskey, it's very applicable in modern interiors. Not every factory agrees. They are in general a little afraid. The business card of the year 2025 I see is often used. Now I will sit down with you. This is a total zebra bomb. Great job. Minotti, B&B, TURI also use these same eco-friendly paints. And do you know how much all this costs? I wouldn't be able to afford such a table. Today we're not talking about replicas, not about Italian brands. We are at a factory where a Chinese manufacturer has created its own collections that match the quality of Italian furniture. And in this video, we will go over all the qualities. I will show you the details and mention the prices. Watch the video until the end. And let's go see the grand V and cool solutions. Of course, I have already studied all these interior items from this manufacturer, and I want to emphasize right away that they are very impressive in the production of cabinets. All the hinges use German high-tech. The veneer processing and painting are very unique, and they specifically use Italian paints. Such a textured effect on the facades is something not every manufacturer can replicate. The factory has been operating since 1998. There are 300 employees here. That is, they are great craftsmen, and this is manual labor. And this factory does not focus on wholesale deliveries. They specifically work only with projects. Therefore, the approach is very detailed, and in this cabinet, take note, travertine is used. Look how cool it looks. These parts in that lower one are natural travertine. Then there's solid wood plus veneer, and in my opinion, it's very difficult to find competitors in this field. This beautiful cabinet costs 28,000 yuan at the factory. Travertine, veneer, and such unique textured facades in color. See how well they match with the stone? Here are the elements. Another cabinet. And I want you to pay attention specifically to the facade. Of course, here is veneer, lacquered, with a very, very beautiful tint. The texture of the pattern is so deep, somewhat sparkling. They cannot only make it in dark green, but I asked, they can also do it in gray and other colors. Additionally, look, brass handles are added, very neat, small hinges. The inner drawers are all in this dark gray color. The color can be chosen everywhere. And the countertop itself is also covered in a deep shade. It simply shimmers here and plays with these points. It's precisely these little details that provide unique emotions from the products. We showcased this sofa at the SIA exhibition in Guangzhou, and now it is already in the showroom. Remember, I told you that this is the manufacturer's own design with a 45-degree angle, and now they explained to me at the factory why this philosophy. Notice I sit down on it, it's deep. And here, look, your legs they don't really touch, right? With the sofa, so you really need to place them very deeply to hit the sofa with your leg. The height is optimal. I sit deeply, and any European can sit as well. There is a separate part with a stone insert. The manufacturer's idea was specifically to place a glass of whiskey or a cup of tea, completely made of suede in my favorite color. Here is additional marble. It's all Italian. You can add extra decor. This is very applicable in modern interiors, and such coffee tables fit in harmoniously. Wooden, with a very interesting texture. This is, by the way, a feature of Chinese manufacturers. They have a very complex milling machine. They can create very interesting wooden designs. There's something that is impossible to achieve in many countries. Or it would be very, very expensive. But this manufacturer has all these little details that are worth paying attention to. I really like these chairs. They are not so bulky. The frame is completely lacquered, veneer. Moreover, with this bright textured pattern. Next, the textile. In this case, it's a dark gray color with streaks. Well, of course, you can choose the textile, but what's most interesting when using it? If you pay attention to the chair's construction, the seat is slightly raised at an angle, so you automatically recline. Look, I'm 180 meters tall and I fit perfectly, plus it has a wide seat. And there are armrests, which are very smooth. Naturally, it's lacquer. Maximum comfort from these pieces. In addition to the interesting design, I would say this is their calling card for the year 2025. And again, the cabinet friends, because I really like how the cabinets are made here. A combination of veneer with different tinting. In the middle, this part is made of natural travertine. There's also a travertine insert here, and the top part of the tabletop is made of travertine. Moreover, the facade is not that heavy. Very neat German hinges are used here because the travertine is only 3 millimeters thick. In this regard, they have done an excellent job. And be sure to write in the comments whether you are interested in such collections or not. What do you think about the proprietary collections of Chinese manufacturers? Here is a huge dining group. Here is a whole stone slab. And here are 6 chairs. And the most interesting thing is that the chairs are quite heavy. This is brass, my friends. Natural brass, it is cast in molds. And here it looks aged. Now I will sit down with you. Yes, sitting on it is very comfortable because it is a heavy and solid chair. But the legs of this table look, in my opinion, gaudy. What do you think? I wouldn't be able to purchase such a table, but the chairs are quite suitable. Bright red nubuck, very smooth and pleasant to the touch. Here are such soft folds, and they use this technique even in this chair. The chair is positioned at an angle, of course. It will be very comfortable to sit in. This is a real feature. I see they often use it in their collections. Friends, I found a real gem here. As always, made of natural marble. Look at this crazy table with such unique legs. Here it is semicircular, a whole stone pedestal, plus this huge slab with the most beautiful, natural pattern. Of course, this is Italian stone. This piece weighs more than 200 kilograms. This is probably the only tricky part when you install it in your home. But it seems like this table will outlast many generations. Like a family heirloom, I would say. And do you know how much all of this costs? The factory price is only 69,000 yuan. Friends, you won't be able to purchase this anywhere else. Only in China. Only here can you find such unique items at very favorable prices. If you are interested in our service, there is a link in the description to our website. Leave an application and our sales department will provide you with detailed consultation on how to assemble impeccable furniture for your home from China. A very harmonious composition, for example, for the entrance hall of your home. Look at this interesting table. It is a composite with textured gold elements. It is cast in a green color variant, which in my opinion complements the gold. The leg is dark and the table is quite tall. Of course, here is a chair, veneer under lacquer, a coffee table made of shell stone, and what a beautiful and interesting console. Inside is veneer, German hinges, legs in aged gold. Well, it looks very stylish. What do you think? You can, of course, give a like if you enjoyed everything. A separate soft area, Patagonia quartzite, they also use it. This is a real zebra bomb, a combination of 2 other types of marble, black and white. By the way, a CNC machine does this, cutting everything out like this. In general, they order countertops from a separate company, but everything is done with such a designer approach. Great job. And here is this sofa. Look how well it holds its shape. I've already talked about the stuffing. They use a 3-layer one, so the top part is softer and the lower parts are denser. It's quite comfortable to sit on. It's a bit springy. But that's why it will always hold its shape like this. But here, another big plus is the textile itself. The textile resembles velvet, textured, smooth. All the seams are very precisely stitched, and all the products around are made from the same material. meaning the full body of all items. Even the tabletops on the tables are entirely made from the same processing material. So there's nothing like using one material on top and a cheaper one below. In this regard, the factory fully completes the products. Well, for example, even this element, stylish and designer-like, they made from aluminum with a gold finish. It is lightweight by itself, but it complements the composition in such an interesting solution. The chairs continue in the same style, along with similar small sofas. In my opinion, something absolutely unique can be created here. And no one will ever tell you that it looks cheap and unstylish. Essentially, the main information about this manufacturer. Founded in the year 98, they started with decor, then moved on to interiors, and eventually entered the furniture business. Moreover, their main development has been in the domestic market. Of course, they mentioned that 40% of their products are exported to countries like Iraq and Dubai. There is a large number of fans and designers who use their collections in these countries. However, they say that Russian-speaking clients have also started to appear in the last 2 to 3 years. And here we have the main elements on display. And here, for example, are the zippers. YKK, as you all know, these zippers are used in branded clothing as well. Next, the American threads. In fact, Gucci, LV, and original brands also use these threads for stitching. All this painting and waterproof lacquer is of Italian technology. Minotti, B&B, TURI also use these same eco-friendly paints. Next, they have high-tech here. They show everyone that they use specifically German hinges, locks, all components, all imported. Here are the wood elements. European birch, natural walnut, European ash, elements of natural stone. They can also use sintered stone in their products if you don't want marble. Look at these fillings. The manufacturer directly writes and shows the articles, the quality and how many kilograms of density these fillings can withstand. He openly states here, you don't need to worry about the composition of all these sofas and soft chairs. They offer a 10-year warranty on the filling. This is, of course, manufactured in China, but all the filling is of high quality. These are the main features I see from which the product is made and where they truly do things differently from typical Chinese manufacturers. They incorporate imported solutions here. Attention to small details and nuances is very high here. Here it is, the creative studio of this production. Here, of course, with our assemblers in offline and online modes, you can visit this production and select materials for each product. Even if by chance you do not find the necessary material from this manufacturer, we have our own suppliers and we can bring an entire collection of our own here and use it in the production at this factory. I have already discussed this with the manager. They are also ready to adopt such a practice. Not every factory agrees, but these guys did. Let's go, just for example, to see the density of the textile. Here, this is 400 grams, it's polyester, the simplest option. I like this one with a density of 750 grams per square meter. This is a very, very cool solution. And this kind of textile will never stretch. Well, it will last for many years. It doesn't stretch, it's dense. And this textile is sometimes more expensive than natural leather. This well-known supplier MO2 textile is used by many factories. This, for example, is 1,150 grams. That's more than enough. They have such a focus on quality materials, which is what I like the most. If you're interested in this manufacturer, just let our sales department know, and the girls will send you a catalog. You can browse through and see all the models. This factory can also produce replicas. I've already looked at many models, but they are not presented here in the showroom. After all, it's an old factory. They say 300 people work there. They are in general a little afraid. Another disharmonious combination. It doesn't look that beautiful, friends, and it doesn't evoke emotions in me either, visually, but I do have feelings about the quality of the products. This tabletop is completely finished in lacquer. I don't see any craters at all. These chairs are also very well made. Of course, a European eye still needs to work on it. A huge showroom of materials. They use all of them at their factory. But there are solutions that aren't very beautiful. But I mean the quality, first and foremost, is really great here. There are many videos of already finished products directly digitized at the factory. For example, you see this powerful marble table, or rather it's made of natural onyx. And it's in the system with photos from all sides, videos and more. Because the factory really changed its perspective after the pandemic and digitized everything very well. A huge number of ready-made cards with replicas are also available at this factory, but we can't show them to you yet. You see, they are a little concerned. Everything here looks very interesting, and I believe there's no need to fear such a manufacturer. I would be delighted if you order impeccable furniture for yourself here. I hope you enjoyed our review and that you've already subscribed to our channel and liked the video. And with that, as always, we conclude our video. And I wish you a good day and a great mood. See you next time. Goodbye, everyone.